I am so sleepy, so tired, so sleepy. Hello. Hello, everyone. Oh, hello. Yo, congrats to Alpha getting first, Maple getting second, and Luke got third, because I added those channel redeem points. I'm definitely copying Izzy. Uh, a lot of people have them. What do you mean? Everyone is copying each other. It's fine. Hi, gamers. Hello. I did nothing. Was it Izzy? Wait, no, someone else has them. Bryce has them. Bryce has them because Ali always does the third. Is it Ali? A lot of people have them, and my brain is tired. I'm sleepy. I love you too, Bessie. I love you too. But welcome, gamers. It's been a bit. I keep having to not stream for reasons. But today, on the docket for today, we're gonna do some building because I'm on the Create SMP, but all I really have to do on there right now is mine, and I want to have a goal, and I think my first goal should be house. And then once I have a house, I will actually properly look into the Create mod and what I want to do with it, other than give water wheel nom. Um, house, yes, house. So we're in a creative world, and we're gonna try and build something. My first idea. Ah. Okay, excuse you. Oh, I see what happened. I was tabbed into OBS, and my mouse was hovering over the wrong button. Is this working? Hello? OBS is not liking me if I'm not tabbed in. Where is my PNG? What are you doing? If I'm not tabbed into OBS, it doesn't want me seeing things. It's being weird and goofy, but not in a cool way, in a I hate you way. And that's just kind of mean. But I cleared out this little area. What the dog doing? I don't know what the dog doing. It's doing something. OBS is the dog because it's a bitch. I have to update it. That's probably the reason I haven't updated it. I keep opening it and being like, oh, I have to update it. I'll do that later, and then I don't do it later. But what I'm thinking, I want to build my house along a river, so I've cleared out this area here, and I want a water wheel. And a part of me wants a water wheel mixed with a windmill, but I might, thank you, Elle, I appreciate you. I might just do, well, I was trying to think of how do I do a house with both a water wheel and a windmill, and I'm not really sure that's gonna work. So we're just going to do some building and see what we can come up with whilst I talk about whatever shit I think is interesting at the moment. But first we're just going to get this sorted. So that's about 4 blocks above the water. That was a penis. That was an accidental penis. It's fine. I just not been paying attention to streams. Last update I did to it was back in December, I want to say? Or like November last year. That being said though, I was having little musings to myself today being like, I kind of want to redo it again. Like, I just think the pose is boring. I feel like I could do something more interesting. Or maybe have more movement when I speak versus not speaking. See, this is why we do a mock-up, because I want to see where this is. In the picture that I'm following, it just has the very bottom of this in the water. So we'll go with that. We'll go with that for now. I'm just gonna get the base of where I want the wheel to be, and then I can build the rest of it around, because I'm thinking of kind of, I have a reference picture for another house that is like a water wheel one that's one built in Minecraft, and I'm kind of basing it off of that, but it's not going to be 100% because I don't want it to be. And we also have the novelty of a bunch of modded blocks because this is the Create mod pack, so it's going to be really fancy. But where have I been for the past 5 days? Because it's been 5 days. And so I was mentioning last time I streamed, I had a busy weekend. And it was basically, my dad has, every year, my dad has a meetup with his friends. He's got a bunch of friends from when he was in the army. Most of them don't live super close to each other anymore. So they like to take like some time once a year to all hang out and vibe, and it's really cute. Is it the boys? It is the boys. It's the lads. It's the men, if you will. And they go out to pub, and they get to drinks, and they watch to football. And it's the boys' night. It's the boys' night. But this coincided with the races, which happened yesterday. Which my family was all planning to go to. And I ended up, I'm pretty sure, being the only person on my dad's side of the family who didn't show up. That was because it was a big, busy day event, and my dad was like, you will probably have a panic attack. Do you want to come? And I was like, no. So he said I didn't have to go, and we appreciate him for that. We very much do. We very much do. But I had my godfather and then my dad's friend staying in the house, which was fine. Made me a little bit uncomfortable to sit down and stream, even though they were out of the house most of the time. It was one of those things of, I don't know when they're gonna get home, and I know they're gonna be loud. Because every time they got home, they turned on the Alexa, and it was loud, and I'm honestly surprised we don't get noise complaints. We haven't gotten one from any of our neighbours, and I'm slightly surprised about that. We're not too obnoxious, it's just loud music sometimes. But like most people do that though, so it's not that bad. But then yesterday, I think my godfather's wife was here. One of the lads left, and it was just my godfather and his wife, and they had to use my room. And I was like, that's not fun for me, because I like my bedroom and my privacy, so I got to sleep in the small room. But I could have streamed Saturday and Sunday. I just didn't. And I'm kind of glad that I didn't. Because we had law both of those days that one of them I wasn't meant to be a part of, one of them I was, and I ended up being a part of both of them in a capacity. So the first one was on Saturday. That was Bagel. They got to show off their character redesign and show their real name finally, which is really, really cute. Thank you, Presley Grimbo, for the follow. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, we love Bagel, we love. If you guys haven't seen the Mithril Twitter with the redesign art, go and check it out. I'm pretty sure Bagel's probably also posted it on well, their original like art design they did themselves on their account. So I highly recommend going and checking it out, because Bagel is a wonderful artist and just a wonderful person. I love Bagel so much. But I also hate them because they have conditioned me to do a Texan accent. And this is no joke. We were watching the Caboodle SMP opening, all in a VC together, and they conditioned me to speak in Texas. So speak in Texas, that's the sentence. So I love and hate them right now. More so love, but I am full of rage. I am full of rage at being coerced into speaking a Texas accent. I don't know how it happened. It just kind of did, and it's really, really funny. They were sending you the worst TikToks. Oh no! Oh no! Oh dearie, dearie me. But no, Bagel is lovely, and I ended up showing up near the end of their stream to be a silly little guy. Thank you, Ragoose, for the follow. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I ended up going to be a silly little guy there, had a character J moment of her being incredibly stressed and distracted while talking to Bagel. It was fun. I want to do some more lore with Bagel at some point, because I love them, and I think we finally have reason to. And then I was a part of Marzarki's lore, which was the big important one, which we have been planning for fucking months. And I am so happy that we did it and it's done. And I'm surprisingly happy with how I played that scene. I do have it recorded, so you guys will get to see my perspective of that eventually in the YouTube videos. Which brings me to another point. The second episode of Mithril SMP has been edited. It's like fully done. I'd already got it mostly done before I posted the first one, but it's fully done now. It won't be posted till next month because I, 1, need a thumbnail, 2, I want to get started on episode 3, so I have a little bit of like, not quite a backlog, but if I know I've posted one episode and that the other one is almost done being edited, I'll be more inclined to finish editing it quicker. You get Lore Bagel all the time, and I am only slightly jealous. I just like bagel time. I just think bagels neat. I just think they're cool and neat and lovely. But yeah. And actually, speaking of Mithril lore, I have Mithril lore tomorrow with the lovely Beanie, which will be very, very fun. We got a lot of lore going on in the future. Not all of it is from my perspective. It's just a lot of people have lore that they are doing, and it's really cool and really interesting and really fun, and I'm excited. Much cause for Artemis and Lilithor, you do, and I look forward to that eventually. Oh, wait for lore tomorrow? Oh yeah, that's me! Actually, Elle, I need to message you about that, because I want your help with something. It's similar to what I did in my tea party with Mars and Katie. I want your help with something like that. Because I had another idea. But I will DM you about that later. But yeah, I've also just been reminded that the mod applications for Twitch and Discord closed yesterday, or not yesterday. They closed Sunday at the end of Sunday, and I have decided people who we are going to have added to the mod team. Izzy was one of them, but that was just kind of a default because, you know, Izzy Foxy is wonderful and my friend, so they get privilege. But actually, we'll do this thing this side. Because I wanted to do something. We're gonna do it here. You are so lovely, Izzy. You are so lovely. But there wasn't too many like outstanding applications. There wasn't a lot of applications in the first place, to be honest, which I'm not upset about in the slightest. But because it made it easier for me to go through, because God knows going through 250 Mithril SMP applications was painful. Don't mind me going to survival to cut entry. But I do know the people who I'm going to be adding. I just completely forgot today that I was meant to DM them and add them. So I'm going to do that tomorrow. I'm going to do that tomorrow, and it'll be fine. And then we'll have a small amount of new mods, but it'll be good. It'll be good. But yeah, that's gonna get answered tomorrow. Oh, hello! 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 I mean, I just do a silly, goofy noise. That's just me all the time. That's just me all the time. I want to have like a little bit of a dock. This probably isn't like the main entrance to the house. This is probably like the back entrance, but it's an entrance. I feel like in real life this would obstruct the water wheel from working to max capacity, even if it's like a dock that is above the water, like what I'm doing. I am mapping out in wool as well, because I've got these blocks on me, but I'm not really sure what ones I want to use. Also, I wanted to use the pink one, but it's better than end, and the end isn't even open yet. So I'm like, do I want to use that or no? Okay, but this is the basic framework, and then on top of this, we're going to have the actual house. Which I have like a rough idea of how I want it to look, but we'll figure it out as we go. But this was the initial block that I grabbed for this. I do have welded it on this world, but I'm just not using it right now because I'm like, I want to hand do stuff sometimes. Oh, stuck. Me cry. How to stop. Do you ever know how I I'm gonna get rid of this pillar because this is like the foundation. This is the foundations. And I don't want to make it like one solid block because that looks boring, so I'll probably speckle it with a bunch, but I want to get like an idea of the exact shape I want to go with, because I can probably fit a basement down here, but I'm not sure if I will need one. But we're gonna map it in quickly. Any plans for summer break? Nothing over the top. Nothing that I can think of that is super exciting. I'm going to a Comic-Con next month. Not like the big one, not the London one, because I think that's happening like right now. But I'm going to a different Comic-Con in the UK, which I am excited about. I low-key forgot it was happening. until like a week ago. And I felt very bad for my friend who I agreed to go with, but it was fine. We've more or less organized everything I need to get to where I'm going. Aside from like return, but I need to talk to my dad about that to get me a train ticket. But you know, once that's done, it'll be all nice and fancy. Yeah, no, we're gonna do it like this. I'm just messing with dimensions here. Click on. Try to go for Ultra Tickets tomorrow. I don't know if I'm gonna go for them or not. Because I know I have a friend who is interested in going. And it's in September. But I think my main thing is I've spent a lot of money recently. So I might just look when they go live at what they're priced at, and if it's reasonable, I might try and get one. But that's like only if someone I know is going. Because I don't like going to concerts alone, especially like in London, since that would be the closest one to me. It's scary and scary. The one to go with. Yeah, I mean, we could go, but then it's like, well, do we have you stay at mine again, or do we get a hotel? And hotels are expensive, so it'll probably be the latter, but then it just depends on so many shit. And it gets very annoying very quickly. I go with a friend. Oh, cute, cute. But yeah, I'm going to a different concert for my favorite band, Waterparks, near Halloween. And I'm very excited, or like after Halloween. I'm very excited for it. Oh, thank you so much, Zenith, for the follow, and thank you for the hydrate as well, JTez. I will do that right now. And thank you. Oh, Manicla, I recognize you. And that's the Cryptocraft person who has the same brain cell as me on Twitter. I think that it. Wait. Fucking pop-up won't show me. God, it's being mean. I do know the lore grind. I do. Teehee. Teehee. We have an understanding, lore SMP owners be like. Cryptocraft is. I remember seeing Cryptocraft on Twitter before it first started and be like, that sounds cool. And I almost applied for it. And then I was like, you know what? I'm sleepy. And then I went to bed. But the stuff I've seen of it has seemed pretty interesting. Yeah. About lore today. Oh my god, same. We were just talking about it because I have Mithril SMP lore tomorrow, and I am excited. Because very few people have done lore with the lovely Scottish bean, and that means that it is a privilege. It is a privilege to get to do lore with a Scottish bean because they are so delightful, and I get to do lore with Beanie, so I'm excited for that. It's very fun. It's very fun. Actually, stream schedule is going to be really messy this week because not only do I have to be somewhere this weekend, and it's been very stressful, so I'm not going to stream this weekend, but I'm going to be streaming tomorrow because of lore, and then I'm going to be streaming. It's Friday, isn't it? Yes, Friday the 2nd, because it's Mithril Monthly, the Mithril Lore podcast recap that we all so much, very much enjoy. That's going to be going on then. Bagel's going to be guesting, and it's very exciting. I want to have more of the members come on and guest. Partly because I think it's cute, partly because if people have had, like, important sort of lore stuff going on in any given month, I feel like it would be cool to give them a bit of spotlight and let them come on to talk about those streams. I was going to invite Katie to join, but because they've had some cool lore going on this month as well, but they have a trip. So I was like, I'm gonna invite Bagel. I would also invite Mars, but I think Mars would be scared. I think Mars would be like, ah, and would scream. No, Marzaki's wonderful. Marzaki's wonderful. Marzaki showed me this song, which is the bidding, but it's a different version of the bidding, which I hadn't heard before, and it threw me through a freaking loop. Oh my god, thank you for the Prime sub, Zenith. Thank you so much, thank you so much. Mars and Katie on Mythra Monthly one day, I mean, I'd be very, very happy to. Who knows, maybe next month. Maybe next month. Because, you know, it could be very cute. But we've been very much in planning mode for Mithril, because we are really, really hoping. I'll give you guys the inside scoop because I'm the fucking owner. I can do what I want. Do you ever do that thing of like, should I say this? Am I allowed to say it? Then you realize that you're in charge, so you can do what you want. We are hoping to wrap up Arc 2. Fucker? I didn't know it could start raining if I had day cycle off. I mean, I guess it's a different command, but meh. Weather clear game rule do weather cycle false. There we go. Me in creative worlds be like, mwah! Thank you for the hydrate, Lich. Thank you. We are hoping to get Arc 2 of not Arc 2. Yes, Arc 2. Arc 2 of Mithril SMP we're hoping to get finished end of July at the latest. And that will all depend on the stuff that we have going on. But me and Elle have been busy thinking about all the streams that we know people are wanting to do or that they have ideas to do, so we can, you know, get everything people want to get done so the narrative is nice and good and everybody is happy with the content that they get to put out. Because something that I've realized, because okay, I've been on a kick recently. I have been a really big fan of Minecraft roleplay for the longest time. A lot of people started with Aphmal. I didn't. I started with Chris and the Mic. He was he was one of the first Minecraft YouTubers who I watched with his old Minecraft Family series, and then he started doing Minecraft roleplays. But I've been watching Minecraft roleplay for a really long time, and I've seen a lot of different variations, and it's been really cool seeing how it's evolved from a very like video like editing format to people doing it more on streams and stuff. There is still like a big audience for it on YouTube as well that I've seen. Well, not a big audience, but there's always going to be still like an audience for that sort of thing. But I went back to watch some of them that I really, really liked. Do you have the final planned? We have it planned, and this is what I'm getting at, and I'll get to it in a second. But what I find with a lot of, especially like big group role plays that I've seen in the Minecraft community, in the past, like on YouTube and stuff, is they'll be planned. Like the ones that I grew up with that I really liked were mostly improvisation with some structure, and that's what we do for Mithril. But I'd say Mithril is like a very structured SMP. But it's just because it's structured doesn't mean it's scripted. Except when it is, which is solely for cinematics, animatics, and the final, because the final involves around 10 people, all of whom live in different time zones, all of whom we can't guarantee are going to be free on the same day. So we've just decided it would be better to do a cinematic for it. And we've got it scripted. We're finishing up builds that we need for it currently, and I'm hoping to get those done at the beginning of June. But it's all scripted, it's all ready. The script is, it's finished, but there is room for changes depending on lore that happens going forward, because some characters we've written in who we actually can't guarantee if they'll be in the final at all, because it will depend on lore that will be upcoming if they are there. Yes, because it's a cinematic. That we'll probably have some improv parts before playing the cinematic, for different people's perspectives, and then yeah. But the words. You can tell I haven't streamed in a while because I struggle to fucking speak. But I'm very much looking forward to that. But a lot of the old SMPs that I used to watch, or they weren't even SMPs, they were just called roleplays. They were just called roleplays because it wasn't survival multiplayer. It was, we're doing Minecraft roleplay. But I remember I loved them all so much, mainly because they had such like interesting concepts, I guess. Like I'm the kind of person who likes things that have interesting concepts, but that doesn't always mean the things I like have good execution of those concepts. So I found that a lot going back and watching some old Minecraft roleplays that I used to really love. Some of them are pretty shit, but I still love them. Because they just are my childhood. It wasn't even my childhood, it was like 4 years ago. But it's still silly goofy. Say it's okay. We all struggle to speak. But yeah, we try we try and keep Mithril to be very much like it's all improvisation. It's all silly Billy vibes. What the fuck is opening on my monitor? Pinterest, are you being okay? Sorry guys, Pinterest just started crying. It just went blacks. It went black for a second. And I was like, what? Where have you gone? Why are you in the void? Does this block not have stairs? Does this block not have stairs? I'm trying to find the stairs. I want why the stairs? There's gotta be some kind of stairs for these. I'm hyper-focusing on there are no fucking stairs. Okay, thanks. Thanks, Satan. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna get very easily distracted throughout the entirety of this, and we're here for it. Okay, we're gonna do there. Then these. Creative menu, drug creative menu. I mean, I haven't played Bedrock, so I cannot attest if that is correct or false. I do not know. I do not know. I can't decide if you should live or die, or you probably go to heaven. Don't hang your head and cry, I wonder why. My heart is dead inside, cold and hard and petrified. But improv acting? Ooh, I don't know. I'm the kind of person who overthinks things. So if I know that I'm doing lore on any subsequent day, I will usually involuntarily think through my head of how that conversation's gonna go. I do that with just conversations in real life as well. Like if I'm like, okay, I need to talk to this person about this thing, I will imagine that conversation in my head before it happens. And I don't say it verbatim because, you know, I'm not that good of memory, but it helps me really plan out the gist of what I want to say and what I want to talk about. So like tomorrow me and Bean were having a tea party, and in the letter that I sent them, we're specifically going to be talking about stuff related to the metal Mithril, and as well as another character who, reasons and stuff, Honey Heart, that sort of thing. And honestly, it's really hard to say what my favorite thing about doing improv is, because I enjoy it. But I guess maybe it's the whole thing of Minecraft roleplays for me, I think, is getting to bring a story to life and getting to make characters who aren't you, but who either you can relate to or who you yourself like and find interesting. And I guess that's the main thing of it, is I like doing improv because I go into the mindset of this is the character that I'm playing, this is the things that they would do. Mithril J isn't too different from me, they're just smarter. But the thing is, and I guess this is partly because I am the owner, so if I say something, it's like, this is canon, quote unquote, that's not with everything. But because I play the scholar of the server as well, it's like I can talk about all these magical concepts and constructs and different things and be like, this is the world, and it just adds to the world building. I'm a really big fan of world building. I do that with other members as well. Like whenever I hear my members be like, this is a thing about my character, I'll be like, oh, well, maybe we add that into the whole thing of that character's race, or maybe that's something to do with like their magic or something. And it's a very fun thing to just go into my little head about and be like, yo, this could be kind of cute and fun. I guess that's the answer. I like stories. I love creating stories and I love um creating characters and concepting and visual design and all of these different like things that go into making stories. I really, really love, but the thing is, it's really, really hard to make a story. It's really, really hard to write a story. I did a tweet about this earlier, being like, I have so many story ideas. I've had a new one recently based off one of those Minecraft roleplays that I watched, which wasn't a thing that was executed very well, but it has so much potential that I think it could be a book if it was just executed in a more like eloquent way. So I wrote down notes for that and I was like, I have so much here, but I'm never actually going to write this because writing is hard. It's very, very hard. And now we're at a difficult point of this build because I like the base, I like what I have, but I'm not really sure what to do with the building on top. Or like, I know what I want to do with the building on top, but I don't know if I want it to go completely out to the edge here, which I think is what it does in the building, but I don't know. Yeah, because I've tried to write books before, and I usually do the first paragraph, but I'm very meticulous in that I will plan things, and sometimes I feel like I plan things too much, or maybe I just really struggle with writing. That could be it. Not so much the act of doing it, but more so the act of being consistent with it. Because I can write. I write the lore catch-ups. Actually, I have one of those to write today, now that I remember. After stream, I'll have to write the one for Mars's last stream. But I really like writing. It's just sitting down to actually do it can be a little bit difficult sometimes. It's the whole thing of either like you can have things so meticulously planned and know exactly what you want to do and what you want to say, but it might not always come out the best, and then you'll rewrite it, and then you get into the loop of going back and forth with it, and that's just not what you want. It's just not what you want at all. Wait. Okay, my thing here is I want this part to move back this way. So we're gonna do some pretty drastic edits right now. Like we're gonna go from like here. I love writing. Still a prof writer, can never put it into words. I put it into words. I have a document. I have a document called Story Dump. And every time I have an idea which I think is good or could be good with some polish, I write it down. I make notes of it. I throw things around, and if I get to the point that those ideas can make tangible like stories, or if I have characters for like the places and not just vague concepts in my head, then I write it all down into like a proper thing and be like, yo, this is my story. Like one of the ones that I have is called Dawn, and it's a video game concept, and the main premise started out as a Tumblr prompt that I saw of, okay, what if you're playing a video game, but you're not playing the protagonist, you're playing like a side character, which has been seen in a couple of things. I think there's one Steam cane called Rassateer, where you play as like a potion shop owner. Instead of like the main protagonist, you make potions for people, but it's also got like its own story, because I'm pretty sure the protagonist in that is trying to pay off the debt of their late father. You are the side. Oh, I love you, Elle. You're not a side character. You're the protagonist. I love you. I love you so much. Mwah. I got very off topic there. Me when I have lost my train. I've lost the train. I've lost the fucking plot. But no, Dawn is a video game concept, and it's one that I've had for a really long time. And video game concept is a lot more difficult to flesh out because I can't tangibly make a video game. Or I can. And I have before. And I'll do it again. But not in like a way that I'd be happy with. Because I've done video games before using RPG Maker and that sort of stuff. But yeah, what I'm getting at is I have a lot of ideas, and I fleshed out a lot of ideas, and I'm happy with the characters, and I can really love it. It's just when it comes to putting them into like a more tangible way for people to consume, I find that difficult. And I think that partly comes to the fact that I do not like sharing my work. I have a little bit of a complex about sharing things that I make. If it's art, I'm more comfortable with it. I guess I'm just more used to that. But with like my writing, when I was a kid, I started writing a story. It was very heavily inspired by Athmel's roleplays, but it was also very different. It just had a couple of like, not even like, it wasn't even similar in any way apart from like the character design that I was imagining. Like the character design of the characters was just very similar to characters from Minecraft Diaries. But aside from that, it was a pretty unique concept. At least as unique as I could get as a like 12-year-old. But I remember showing that story to my mum, and I wasn't looking for a "this is great, this is amazing." I was just looking for a "oh, I like this." I just wanted approval that what I had written wasn't a hot piece of garbage. Or if it was a hot piece of garbage, just to be like told what I could improve on. But instead of doing that, she took what I wrote, proofread it, and then gave it back to me, printed out. And I was like, I didn't ask you to proofread this and spell check it and rewrite like a quarter of it. I asked you to tell me what you thought because I'm happy with this and I wanted your opinion. And I think that kind of made me like more hesitant to share stuff that I write. So when I share stuff that I write now, I don't. I don't share stuff that I write unless it's like Mithril stuff. Like I wrote all of the logbooks and I wrote all of the books in the library. And those are kind of different because the books in the library on Mithril are more like objective takes. Ah! Thank you for the £3 tippy. I love. Mwah. Thank you so much, Maddie. Thank you. Thank you. Do you go by Maddie or do you go by Claire? Please tell me. Because I know it's not Maddie Claire, but it's like Maddie Claire, and I want to make sure I refer to you correctly. Maddie. Okay, good. I wanted to make sure. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know. I've been thrown off again. Yay, don't worry, Evan. Hey, bestie, how you doing? I'm gone. I need a long. Doctor, take thy pain away from me from the days. But I guess what I'm getting at is I'm not used to sharing my writing, and it kind of scares me. But I feel like if I get more used to sharing stuff that I write, and like I'll be more comfortable writing more. Because I think the last thing that I shared was when I was trying to write up a prequel to the Mithril SMP from my friend Charlie's perspective, because she's the one who's been in the valley the longest, other than, you know, Celine. And my friends seem to really like that. I didn't finish the second chapter, but I got 2 chapters in. And it was very, very, very fun. But I just think I need to get better at sharing it, and then maybe I'll be able to actually pursue some of my story ideas. But I think it's partly because I've been watching old Minecraft roleplays that, again, I love, but I recognize them as not having been executed to, at least if, like, in my brain, they weren't executed to a standard that if I was running them, that I would be happy with. But I enjoy them as a consumer. They've been giving me a lot of ideas for future SMPs, which is annoying, because I already know what SMP I want to run after Mithril. I already know what it's gonna be about, and I already have a character made and a whole concept and everything for several parts of it. So I've got to stop having SMP ideas because I have too many. I have far too many, guys. Mithril 2. Mithril 2 Electric Beagle here. Oh, that would be very, very funny. That would be very cute and funny and silly and goofy and cute. Um, but I do know, and it's one of those silly things. But because one of the roleplay. Okay, I know nothing about Yu-Gi-Oh! I've never played Yu-Gi-Oh! I've never seen the anime. I have, however, watched a Yu-Gi-Oh! Minecraft roleplay series. And that's another thing of, like, I love the stray concepts. Yes, most of the episodes were just them playing Yu-Gi-Oh! With a Minecraft picture in the background. However, it was fun, even if I didn't understand what was happening. I did say Yu-Gi-Oh! Okay, I say I haven't played Yu-Gi-Oh! I have played Yu-Gi-Oh! I played it in a deck builder against bots. I don't remember what builder it was, and I can't find it anymore, but I remember I made myself I think it was a merger of Trick Stars and Dragon Maids based off two competitive teams that had won in competitions before that I found on the internet. And it worked pretty well, I just wasn't good at using it. But those are my favorite card sets, Trick Stars and Dragon Maids, because the art is cute. I'm not sure if I have enough, like, energy to want to learn how to play a card game that's as complex as you, because I understand it. Like, I really like Genshin's TCG card game, but because that's like that's a part of like Genshin as a larger game, it's easier for me to wrap my head around because I can just press buttons and do it. And it's also, I think, probably simpler than Yu-Gi-Oh! Just in general, because it's a very differently structured game. I'd say the Genshin TCG is a lot more like, I guess, Magic the Gathering? I don't know. They look more similar in layout, at least. But Yu-Gi-Oh! It's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of stuff. I think my favorite card, if I remember correctly, was Mirror Force. I'm pretty sure that's one of the ones that clears the field. It's a spell card, or is it a spell card or a trap card? It's one of them. But it's very cool, and there's a lot of different cool things that you can do, but then it gets on top of itself, because then in Yu-Gi-Oh! You've got link summons, which you have to do things to summon them, and they are links, and then you can also normal summon, and then there are pendulums, and then there are trap cards, and then there are spell cards, and then there are different kinds of monsters and different elements for those monsters, and it's very, very overwhelming. But I find it interesting because the roleplay that I watched involved a lot of, like, stuff in the anime, like dual spirits, and that's just basic, like, your cards fucking talk to you. And it's I'm not explaining it well, but I thought it was really interesting. And that's why I enjoy it, even though I don't understand Yu-Gi-Oh! In the slightest. But it was cute. But I also watched one which was, like, inspired by the anime Fairy Tail. Again, I know very little about the anime Fairy Tail. I've read the first manga of it. I'm actually not sure if I even finished the first one, but I really like the magic system because you've got you've got elements, but it's not just ice, fire, water, air, earth, lightning. You've also got, like, fucking shadow and void and celestial, and it's all very, very fun. But then you've also got, like, you can have mages who have those abilities based off those elements, but then you also have an added layer of some people aren't just mages, some people are slayers. And slayers means that you get your magic from one of three creatures, that being dragons, demons, or gods, and it is in that order, of, like, power, with dragon being, I think, the least powerful of the three. And I just find it very interesting, but then they've got an extra layer of it, because they've got generations of slayers, which basically is, like, how you got your power. And 6th generation is you eat the thing you want the power of. So a 6th generation dragon slayer has eaten a dragon before. And I find it really funny. I just like concepts. I like world building and concepts of that. Magic Door is funny. I do not know a lot about Magic Door. I do not know what Magic Door is. I'm confused. Oh my god, a bean! I was talking about you earlier because I love you and you're wonderful, and I forgot to do a tell trying to chat to Prime. Did you guys know if you have Twitch Prime, you can, if you have Amazon Prime, you can link to your Twitch and get free money Jeff Bezos once a month, and it's really cool and it's really awesome. You can give me money, please. Thank you. Do you know what's silly of me? I've had Prime for like 2 years at this point, because I originally got it when I was a student. And first of all, I didn't realize I had Prime. So I wasted it for like a year of just not using it. And then I've only recently started claiming games that Prime gives you for free, because I also didn't really realize that was a thing that I could do. So I downloaded the Amazon game thing because I wanted to get Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion for free, as well as Calico, which is a really cute game with cats. And I wanted the cats. I wanted the cats. I wanted the little cute baby putty cats. Thank you for the hydrate, Evan. Boop. Because we have the thing tomorrow, Beanie, and I'm so privileged to be one of the few people who gets to do lore with the amazing Beanie. Who I love. Because Beanie is so lovely, guys. Did you know that Beanie is so lovely? Did you know that they're so lovely? I did. I knew they were so lovely. I've been aware of it this whole time. I think I'm gonna go one in. On these. I'm actually do these outer parts darker stone, and then the inner parts stick with the stone brick, like a light color, and then this top part also that. Just to give it a little bit more dimension. Bye-bye, Evie, bye-bye! Yeah, but now I'm starting to claim games from my Prime subscription to Amazon, which is so fun. Because I also got Honkai Star Rail, Stellar Jades, which I want because Silverwolf is coming out next update, and I need her in my life. I love her. Quantum is my favorite element in that game because I have a Seelie and she's my only built character and she does so much damage. But she's gonna do more eventually because I'm trying to get more crit on her. Which I could get if I just leveled her up properly, but I decided to grind relics and then I realized those should probably be the last things that I'm grinding to get. And instead focusing on like light cones and stuff. Which is very cool. Light cones are like their weapons. They're just called light cones because they don't... I guess the way that I imagine it is light cones are like solid light, and they form themselves into the weapon that each character uses, because that way the game can justify every character having a different weapon that cannot be changed. Unlike in Genshin, when half of the game is building your weapons to be, you know, suited to the characters that you're using. Which can be difficult. It can be very difficult. So I've got another hydrate from Skylar. Hydrate. I don't know why. My cough is mostly better. I think it's because I did that the Prime redeem and I said it very fastly. I said it very fastly, and my throat said you should not do that. My throat said no Picasso. Make him pay. Of today. I'm actually listening to my character Jay and character Mars Mithril playlist right now. Because a lot of people on the Mithril SMP have solo playlists, and then they also have playlists with them and different characters for the dynamic. Which is why Good For You from Dear Evan Hansen is on mine. Because of that last Mars stream. Because, ooh boy, that one was a doozy. I enjoyed it so much. Doing well to you, make it pay anyway. Oh, that penny counts. What I kind of want to do is just make this a solid wall. It was so mean and poor Martin, that's really poor boy. Okay. Yes. But also, I think the way I was playing it was, or the way that I was intending to play it, was that she is very stressed. She is very busy. And she's angry because she's warned Mars. She's angry because she warned character Mars to not talk to Celine, and that it would only bring bad things if they did, and she was proven very much right in that regard. She's angry because he was sick and didn't tell anybody, and basically caused his own death by not asking for help, something that she knows that she could have helped with relatively easily. She's angry because she knows the effect it's going to have on Artemis when she finds out, and she cares about her best friend deeply. And she's also tired because she's been trying to figure out Honey's heart, she's been trying to decipher Charlie's book, she's been trying to figure out what Celine is so they have a better chance at stopping her. Bestie's been doing a lot. Bestie has been doing a lot, and now she's got this extra thing on her plate, and she cares about Mars. And the boy's been stupid. That's all we can say. I mean, I've heard what she was. She was, definitely. But it's all the intricacies. It's all the layers, and we love the layers. We love the onions. We love the onions here. We love the onions. I think I have another idea for video stream special. Oh, please do, please do, please do. I will check it after stream, Beanie. Tasty. And every mythical character is traumatized. Oh, you have no idea. Because see, the thing is, some mythical characters don't seem traumatized, and then you get a peek behind the curtain, and you realize that they are. They always are. Let me get some dark oak for the floor. I want chunky. I want chunky. But not like brick chunky like this one. I think is that correct? What do you mean? Okay, I mean, okay, let's go through this together. Let's go through. Hello, Coral. Hello, and thank you for the follow. It's not boof. Thank you. But let's go through some of the Mithril SMP characters, shall we? So we've got Jay. Parents murdered each other in front of her. Friendless for probably around 9,000 years. And, you know, several kidnapping attempts towards them. Probably gonna leave a mark. Artemis... Where do I start with Artemis Hermes? Family dead. Exiled by their fiancé. I am correct though. Thank you, Coriol, for the follow. Thank you. I'm correct though, Elle. I'm correct. Yeah, character J is like 9,000 years old, Beanie. She's old. She's immortal. That's why she's so smart. Because she has been learning for years. A wise also. Very definition of people. Name a traumatized. Okay. Tell me you're traumatized without telling me you're traumatized. Just post a picture of Artemis Hermes. Hi Mars, I love you. Speaking of Marsarchy, terminal illness which has no known cure in the human town they came from. So they've basically left and abandoned everything they've known to find a cure, but are too anxious to even bother people to ask for help, which has to have come from somewhere. Katie is a lost child, who just found out that their parents aren't looking for them because the letters written to them were actually from their best friend pretending to be her parents. I'm sure that must have felt great. Oh. Who else? Rose, Avila, which is a type of fairy with mysterious scars on her back and lacking wings. We don't know what happened there. They don't seem to remember they even were supposed to have wings, but my character knows. She hasn't even met them and she knows. Got a pen and paper. I'm lost lore-wise. Don't you worry, because this Friday you can watch the catch-up of Mithril Monthly, where we take all of the lore from this past month and recap it in a nice digestible thing for you. episode 1 and 2 are already up on the Mithril SMP YouTube channel. You can do exclamation mark Mithril to go and watch them. Also on that Mithril SMP YouTube channel, you can find on the homepage a link to a playlist by the lovely Elle Pondberry, where she has all, where they have all of their edited episodes of the Mithril SMP. They aren't 100% up to date, but they are into Arc 2 now, so if you want to get their perspective of things, you can check it out. Also a link to my VOD playlist, also will eventually be a link to Ava's videos, which will be edited down, and also eventually a link to my edited down videos. There is also an Arc 1 recap, which gives you the main information, but not all of the character specifics, unfortunately. We tried to make it as accessible as possible. I'm a fae, but you know what? Close enough. Hi, welcome. Hope you're having a great time. Okay, let me get, like, a different brick. I want a different brick that is darker than the stone brick. And we can continue. Name me another character I haven't said already. Somebody give me another character who I haven't said already for me to talk about their trauma. Oh, this is surprisingly fun. Eyes, but you got a balcony and company. I'm doing hydrate. Oh, I'm running out of water. And say Lilith? Ooh, yes. Lilith. We know they escaped the end. We know that the Watchers are the souls of people who made deals with them and then died eventually, and now they... How do I explain? The Watchers are constantly surrounding Lilith and in their brain and in their ears, yelling nonsense 24/7, driving them up the wall. Some of them are violent. My Watcher is violent. My new favourite thing is to sit in people's chats and be like I am role playing your canonical chat because this is so silly. There's 1,000 years. Who's the only being should be immortal or gods? Because beings of people. Not in our SMP. Right, different creatures can be immortal on Mithril. My character is like 9,000, but they're not even the oldest person there. They're one of them though. They're definitely one of them. Deep Slate might be a bit too dark, but oh, that's Basalt. Basalt will be annoying to get, but I'll try it. But yeah, Lilith's got a bunch of stuff, but some of it I can't talk about because I don't think that's been shared before. Both Soul Stealers. Kinda, but it's different. The Watchers and the way Celine takes souls are two fundamentally different things in how they work, just because those characters are two fundamentally different beings. So it isn't the exact same, but they do both have a little bit of a habit. Take this one for now. Oh, we also need... Oh, it does give us basalt brick stairs. Thank you. Thank you. Other characters. Bryce Fizuk Blackrose, or just Fizuk Blackrose in the Mithril SMP. He, has family issues. His parents don't like him, I'm pretty sure. But the real thing here is that he died, or he thinks he thought he died. He was caught in a cave-in that, should have killed him. Told by a mysterious voice to go do something. And, you know, he's got the trauma of a near-death experience under his belt. Scary is scary, I know. Very, very scary. And now he is a warlock, which is even more scary because he doesn't know who his patron is, which means, you know, they could be malicious or dangerous, and he doesn't have a way to stop them from, you know, making him do things. Isn't that fun? Isn't that fun? Bessie's freaking out. We love. Moon's mother is missing, and they've been searching their whole life to find them and also living in their shadow, which probably means they have some sort of self-worth issues or don't really know who they are. Or both. Definitely probably both. My SP without trauma. Oh, of course, of course. Actually, I don't think Monet's character has trauma, but Monet doesn't do enough lore to really have established it, so maybe I'm wrong. Character Bean doesn't have any trauma yet. Character Bean doesn't have any trauma yet. From equals fun. It's so true. It's so true, bestie. Are we liking this? Do you like this with the basalt bricks, or should I find something else? Because I think it's pretty okay. I'm almost thinking it's still a little bit too close, but I kind of like it. Bean just has Tism, and we enjoy them for it. They don't have any trauma yet. It's okay. Can't always start with it. Sometimes you've got to earn it. You've got to earn your trauma. Oh, Cardi Bean has trauma. It's just not known/realized. I mean, maybe. I think they just don't like people. But who knows? Who knows what could happen in this world? Thank you, Toby Cat, for the hydrate. Hello, bestie. Hope you're doing well. Been a while. All the way hesitating in the night. Hello, hello. I'll do that in a second. That hydrate now. Character Cloudy, father has been missing their whole life, and when they went to found them, they found out that they were a time traveler and dead. Which must have hit a nerve quite a bit. Yes, of course, Maple. Yes, of course. Ask away. Been a hot minute, but whoa. Cloudy trauma for real. Cloudy father. Me when I made a bunch of fatherless Cloudy memes to post after they found that their dad was dead. Seems like when 2 p.m. when I'm not working, and that's juicy when you're not streaming. Aww. It's understandable, bestie. Well, I'm happy to see you now, though. Welcome in. I hope you have an enjoyable time. SMP that I possibly want to apply for soon, but I'm not like too good when it comes to applications, so do you have any advice for SMP apps? Ooh, it's a difficult thing. I think the thing for me is that when we look through applications, we don't just look at your application, we look at you and all of your stuff. And no one's stuff is always going to be 100% perfect, but we like to look at people's Twitches and their Twitters and just see what the vibe is like, see what that stuff is up to. But as for like actual stuff written on the application, most SMPs like people who can play or stream or whatever often. But if you know that you can't, it's always best not to lie about it. And if they have a place for you to like do extra informational stuff, sometimes it can be nice to put stuff in the being like, you know, currently I have school going on, so I won't be super active until that's done, but once it's done, I'll be incredibly active. And yada yada yada. Trying to think of other things. If it's a lore-based thing, there's a balance between writing too much and writing too little. But a nice thing that I like is when people are like, this is the character idea that I have, but I'm very open to changing it, because Mithril, at least in Mithril's case, it's an SMP that has a lot of world building, a lot of lore, and a lot of established things that we've got to kind of keep to make sure we don't mess up other people's stuff that's already been established. So like, if another person who was a ghost joined, we've got to be careful because Ava's already a ghost, and so we've got to have reasons for why those characters are different, all these other things, and we wouldn't want the characters to be the same. So coming in with a character idea, but being open to making changes to that character is something that is nice, because especially if it's like a proper like serious lore thing, it can be nice. You just went Reindeer Inventor, and I love you for that. It is kind of hard to really, like, put my finger on it. Short short answers or saying I don't know is the most annoying thing because it's the least, like, helpful thing in the world. And just don't do stupid mistakes. Like, it might be a little bit petty, but when people apply to stuff, even if it's like not SMP stuff, if it's like other things that I do applications for, and they either don't know how to write their time zone or they incorrectly put their Discord ID and stuff, it's more of a thing of this is a really simple thing to do just with Google. Figure out how to do it. It's not that difficult. I agree with everything I was saying. Yas, yas. Two SMP owners be like, brah, brah. We're Hercules Mulligan, up in it, loving it. Yo, I heard your mother say, come again. I can't help myself. I can't help myself. It's too fun. Okay. I need to get my shit. Bye-bye, Top Cat. Thank you for stopping by. But trying to think of any other little things that could be like an interest. I think one of my favorite applications for last time on Mithril was Melora's, just because they provided a lot of stuff and it was very well put together and well thought through, but it wasn't too much. Again, it's striking that balance between being interesting, open to change, and having enough written that it seems like you've put effort and work into it, but not too much written that it's like a complete essay that people are going to hate having to read. And I guess it's just presenting yourself as a fun and enjoyable person. It can be very difficult, but it's all just depends. And different SMPs will have different things that they are specifically looking for. Because I know, like, stuff that I look for, not every SMP is going to be looking for. And that's just the kind of thing of it, because different people want different things. Like, not every SMP does interviews like Mithril does, but we do it because we've had enough situations with members being less than ideal once they've joined. And my main priority is always to have an environment of people who are nice and accepting and can hang out together and have fun. Which is why we do interviews, which I have only seen one other SMP do interviews, and they were text message interviews, not in person, but VC interviews. We also do text ones, but that just depends on the people's comfort. Generally, we prefer voice call ones. When someone writes like an entire essay while I have to read through hundreds of applications makes me want to I don't want to skim someone's application because you put so much time into it. No, definitely. You do interviews too? Yo, why are we simply the same person? My goodness. We were simply just one brain cell. Like, great minds think alike, I suppose. But it's just a vibe. And sometimes you don't always meet, like, either sometimes people meet the vibe in the application but won't moving forward, or sometimes they just won't meet the vibe at all, even though they're a great person. But you just gotta, you know, go with it. Why is there no fucking dark oak barrel? Why do you have so many other barrels but not a fucking dark oak one? I am upset. One brain cell. The singularity is converging. One brain cell. Oh, this bundled one might work in place of a barrel. She wants to know what it's like, so do I. My head is spinning through every single time. I guess I'll right fine. I love this song. Hello, Bad Monkey Dude. Hello. Hope you're having a lovely, lovely day. Just gonna go through this. Since I've seen, like, video applications too, does it help to have those kind of things along with the application itself, if you get me? It can. If... The thing that I would say is if it doesn't specify that you have to provide one of those, you don't have to, but I think it shows an extra level of effort that if you're willing to go to by doing a video application. Because that's sort of like a nice way to show a personality and you as a person without having to do interviews is making a video where you portray yourself or whatever you want to show. I did a video application for one of the first SMPs that I was on, but I never ended up streaming on that SMP because I just didn't feel like it. I had a lot going on in my life. Oh, yo, thank you so much, Celestial Rain for the raid. Thank you so much, thank you so much. Hi, raiders, hello, hello, hello. My name is Jay, local Ace streamer. Welcome to building. We're doing a little build today. It's a very fun time. It's very, very fun. What was that? My OBS is being slow when I'm not tabbed in. Thank you for the biddies, Ragu. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hello, hello, everyone. We are currently talking about SMPs because I run an SMP. We've got another SMP owner in the chat with us, Maddie, and someone was asking about, like, you know, applications and stuff and what makes a good application. So we're just talking about that sort of thing. We're having a great time. Air Ace represent, let's go! But thank you so much for the raid. Thank you so much. I hope your stream was amazing. Feel free to raid and run if you have to, but if not, how was your stream? What did you do? What are you up to? Yeah, I hope you're having a great time. We have doing a video application, I'd say is very, very cute for SMPs, because again, it shows that little extra effort that you're wanting to put into it, and it shows a bit of extra dedication. Like Bagel, when we did applications for Mithril SMP, they were just Twitter applications, so all you had to do was write a tweet. They were very lax because we were only looking for 3 people, and this was like back before last December. But they made a video for their application, and it did stand out. Like, we already were being a bit biased towards them because me and Sky knew them. Well, we weren't super close, but me and Sky had, like, talked to them once or twice, and we're like, you're cool. But that video application was not only really well done, but it was really fun, and it definitely made it more likely for us to want to add them. The application's open. Nope, Mithril SMP applications are not currently open. However, I was saying earlier, we are hoping to end Arc 2 sometime in July, which means applications for Arc 3 should be opening sometime after then. So keep a lookout in the summer, I guess, for Mithril SMP. Exclamation mark Mithril if anyone wants to know about that. Right now we're building a house for Create SMP, which is a casual SMP that I'm on with a bunch of people, and I wanted to build a house that I could build on that server using all the modded blocks and stuff. It's got a water wheel. It might have a windmill at some point. July 2, what a laugh. Maddie, we gotta stop. We gotta stop. We are doing things too similarly. We gotta stop. We are one brain cell, and I'm going to cry. No, but I actually love it. But this is hilarious. You can't. Season decision, Camille. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Literally one brain cell. Somebody get me and Maddie running an SMP together. We gotta do it. Thank you for the sub, bestie. Thank you. Oh, any advice for writing lore book in a similar style to the logbooks from Mithril? Ooh, yes, I do. Now you don't have an ad? Wonderful. I was saying we either have to stop being the same or we have to run something together so we stop just copying each other without knowing it. And it's really, really funny. Thank you for another 10 biddies, Ragu. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Agreed. When I say nice things about them, so shh, they have such a nice energy to them. Bagel is one of the most delightful people I have ever met in my fucking life. They're just really fun to be around. They're really easy to talk to. And I always have a good time when I'm around them. We don't really hang out too much. We've got to chill out a little bit recently, and I want to hang out with them more, but I'm too anxious to be like, hey, do you want to hang out? Because I'm an anxious being. But I love them, and they're wonderful. Coca-Cola, goddammit. Oh no. But Bagel is wonderful, and I love their story, their OCs, and I love all the stuff they do. Literally, if you haven't seen, I think it's Bagel_Queen on TikTok, check out their TikToks, because all of their, like, SMP characters, they have a series on TikTok of them living in an apartment together, and it's really, really cool and interesting. And I love it. I actually made the models in the more recent episodes that they are using for the assets for their characters, so, like, the foxtail and ears, and all of the ears and animal assets that they all have, as well as the scythe that Lilith holds. Because they commissioned me to do that, which I had a lot of fun with. Best ad to have. It's their fun, it's their fun. But as for your question was, Skylar, I guess the way to do it is you're going like the logbooks in Mithril, which preface information. Arc 1 of Mithril SMP, we had these logbooks which were written by the leader of a group of adventurers, like a typical like D&D party leader, kind of guy. And they were about the research they did on the valley 10,000 years ago. So it's thinking, who is writing the books that you want? What purpose do these books have? And what do you want your characters to learn from them? So like when I did Moon's log books that were written by their aunt, I was like, okay, this is the character who is writing them. It is Moon's aunt. They are magic. They are a scholar, like slash scientist sort of kind of person. Very analytical. And they're very cautious. So who, why, what? Yeah, basically. You want to know who is writing it, why they are writing it, and what information the reader has to gain from reading it. Because if there's no point in them reading it, there's no point in them having it. So the first logbook was very much just a preface, like in the beginning of Arc 1, was very much just a preface that these things are important. People have researched this place before, and this is information coming from when it was originally created. These are from back in the day, when the valley was first a thing. The second one was very much to be like, this is the wing recipe, this is some more relevant information about the place. It sets up for the final one where shit hits the fan. And I do that in all of them. So like, Elle has their quest going on right now, and they are getting a bunch of books from this quest. The first one, they got 3 books. One of them was about the elven races, talking about all of them. The next one was, I think, about the civilizations, the culture, and the kingdoms that they live in, which were both there to contrast the book about elves that was in the library. Because, yeah, race and culture. And they were there to contrast the book that was in the library about elves, which didn't mention didn't have the same it had the same information, but not as much. Like, it didn't talk about 2 of the kingdoms, because 2 of those kingdoms have since been destroyed since the books that Artemis found were first read. Which I butchered that sentence, so I apologize, but we're going through it. But then they also found a journal written by the author, which was more of a objective look at other things, and that's going to be expanded upon. We know they came to the valley, we don't know why they're there right now, but we know a lot of other things. Are you talking about? We're talking about books that I wrote for the Mithril SMP as in an act of world building and story progression. Again, exclamation mark Mithril SMP is like, it's in the chat right now. In the public Discord, in the sneak peek channel, I'm pretty sure, there is a link to a library document for all of the books that we have in the Mithril SMP library. I wrote all of those to add to world building. But then we have some books that were written by NPCs who we will never get to see because most of them are dead. That are just there to build on information that characters are looking for. So Artemis's character is wanting to learn more about her elven side, but she's also interested in some stuff about, you know, why the End and the elves had a war in the first place, because no one really knows. And so all of that information they are going to eventually find, but it's just what they find and where they find and how they find it. And it's very interesting. But it was D&D campaign. I mean, Mithril SMP is D&D inspired, so it might as well be. It honestly might as well be. At this point. It takes heavy inspiration from D&D and the fact that we do a lot of world building to like flesh out the region, so even though we never leave the valley, we know about things that exist outside of the valley. Just because it's more interesting to have like a full world out there. That has actually reminded me, we have a card for the Mithril SMP. I have redone it recently. And it's not public yet, but I'll be making it public soon. So I guess a heads up for that when I eventually make it public, because I am quite happy with it. And it has a lot more, like, it just has links to everything. I love cards, yes. I got inspired by one that I saw, and I was like, yo, this is mine now, I'm stealing it. Not really, but you know what you should do sometime? You should do a huge Mythos SMP meetup and have everyone play their character for a one-shot D&D session. I would love that, but you see, the only issue is I'm not a very proficient dungeon master. I think we can all, I think any Mithril SMP person in chat right now can think of one person who would be excellent at running something like that. Their name begins with it ends with an ice. Not an ice. No. Bird Boy, Bryce, that was what I was trying to say. I was trying to split up his name to say something. Ends with an ice, begins with a B. My boy. If he wanted to make and run something like that, I would 100% be down. I remember, like, the old Caspian, who used to play Apollo on the SMP, who was Artemis's brother, L's character. They mentioned to me at one point, like, writing up an actual tangible campaign based off the information that we had in Arc 1. They never ended up doing it because they are busy bee, but it's an idea that I really like the thought of, is like making an actual proper campaign setting using all the information that like I have made for the Mithril SMP, because there's enough there to make something. It's practically a D&D campaign as it stands currently. So it could definitely work. New car now. No one's gonna catch us now. It'd be so cool. It would be Mithril universe. It would be very, very fun, because the Mithril universe is a lot more than just the valley, but the valley is a nice central point that people could make like a use of in their own little campaigns and stuff, which I think would be really cute. It's very heavily D&D inspired, but it's also got inspiration from Tolkien, because that's where Mithril comes from, and we just kind of took the concept and ran with it. And then it also has inspiration from, well, D&D, Tolkien, what other stuff? What other stuff have I nosed my way into it? It doesn't take inspiration from Sonic the Hedgehog. However, I do reference Sonic the Hedgehog a lot, and people don't realize it. Thank you, Crystal Moon, for the follow. Thank you. Sometimes hold my hand side. It has like the tiniest bit of Harry Potter influence, and by that I mean I just ripped the concept of how witches and wizards work for one of the races in the world. I was like, yeah, you work the same. I was like, you work the same as this, because I don't want to write it a different way. Ghost Town. It's gonna scare us now. In our dressing gowns. And stripey, yours is green and brown. You much to hydrate, Lich. Might have to get more water in a minute. Realize it every time. I'm gonna sneak in a Sonic quote at some point, and I'm not gonna ever tell you, and you won't realize. Because if I don't tell people, they won't know, Elle. If I don't tell the church, they can't reprimand me. If they don't know, they simply don't know. Scared of something new. Should do what we do on Countenance Me. Make Among Us canon. Oh. Someone tried. Someone tried in the first episode, like first lore event of Mithril SMP. Somebody once like the main thing was done, they tried to derail everyone into playing Among Us, and I just left. And then they started antagonizing everybody, so they got removed from the server. Quick, favorite food: Oreos, 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 Oreos. Anything cookies and cream, but Oreos. So down. Might close my eyes. We made the Among Us song the Endurian's anthem. Honestly, that kind of works. Like, I feel like if you slowed it down a little bit and added an echo, that like, really fits. In the water. Elle, you know what you gotta do now. You gotta make Mithril SMP end national anthem that isn't the Among Us theme. Colder in the summertime, I'll lose my mind at least another 1,000 times. Tired of you, make it another night. Something new, safer when I'm with you. Falling doesn't know you find this way too. I look forward to hearing it because I look forward to you because you are wonderful. The quote better be used. I don't think they're gonna accept gotta go first as a medical condition. The thing is, I can't get that to work. I love Cane Town, same, they're great. I don't think I can get that one to work. However, at the end of Arc 1 of Mithril SMP, we went to a temple, which is basically where the deities had been worshipped, and there is a prayer in the temple, and it is a parody of the Chaos Prayer from Sonic Adventure that Takal says. It is a parody of that made to fit Mithril better. Maybe mods are condition is gonna go. I'm gonna cry. If someone's character was a new race that isn't already in the SMP and they got in, how would you incorporate that? It depends on what the race is. So the way that we have it work is because we do have a full world map for places that exist outside of the valley. And each one of those places has a list of the races that you would expect to see there. However, that is like more so this is the majority of creatures that live here, but this is not like the standard of like the only people who live there. It's like with languages. If you go to like America, you're going to expect a lot of people to be speaking English, but not everyone in America speaks English. A lot of people there speak like Spanish or Mexican, or are those the same things? Ava's gonna kill me. I can't remember. I failed geography. Manzaka is a simp 1000%. I don't know how that's relevant to the conversation, but probably. I have not talked to him in ages, but probably. Oh. But just because, like, I guess what I'm getting at is like you can have like IRL. You can live in Germany, but not only speak German. And that's kind of how it works with this is like, the standard people who live in this place, i.e. the majority of people who live, what's the place? I need a place. The majority of people who live in Willowwood are hybrids, which is like half human, half like animal because of magical mutations. But I'm sure there are some humans who live there. I am sure there are some witches who live there. There might even be fays who stop by every now and then. Like, it's more of like a soft rule of this is where you would probably be from if you lived in this world with that character, but you don't have to be from here. Some niche cases, it just makes more sense. But it all very much depends. As for, like, if it's a race that has completely never been heard about or written about before, then it's sort of... they're just a race that exists and is either not around too much, so you don't really hear too much about them, or you just get to be that character. Obviously, it will depend. We have a hard rule on no gods. You can't play a god, just because, like, for power balancing stuff and story interest, having someone be that overpowered doesn't make sense. And unless we have, like, characters who we know are going to manage it correctly. So, like, Bagel's character is an illusionist. That's their main power, and that's something that can be really easily improv'd or bullshitted. In my eyes, yes. Unless you're, like, an NPC, I guess I should phrase. In my eyes, you are... I am not a woman, I'm a god. I'm a problem. Do I want to move this floor 1 up to be on the surface of that? Yes, I do. Oh, so doesn't have to talk with Jesus. Yeah, like a lot of some of the stuff that we do, base server, you mean like Minecraft server? My own server, Mithril SMP, because I own it. And I love all the people who are on it. Hello, welcome to chat, welcome to chat, welcome to chat. I'm trying to think of other things to say. But we've had people join, be like, this is my character concept, and me be like, okay, that character doesn't work. You can't play that character, unfortunately, for one reason or another. But then I slightly edit that character so that they can be viable without really changing the core construct of what the person wanted, which is a fun little thing. So I did that with Cozy Mel's character. Cozy Mel's no longer a part of the Mithril SMP, just because they had a lot going on in their life and they couldn't dedicate time to it, so they decided to step out, which I appreciate them for coming to me about doing that. But their avatar character for streams is a god. And obviously, no gods, you can't play a god on Mithril SMP, so they couldn't be that. But to give them the same sort of concept, we made them a celestial, which is basically stars are linked to souls. In fact, in the book, in the library, the god of the stars is also the god of souls. So they were a star who wanted very desperately to be able to live and visit the human world, and so the god allowed them to do so. And it's sort of like a Princess Mononoke thing of one day they will have to go back up to the stars to live there, but for now they're living here. It's like a temporarily access to Earth, I guess you could put it. Or a little bit like Stardust, that one movie, where they just get knocked out the sky. That could also be a cause for it. But that's the most that we do. It's very fun. I like answering questions. It's fun. People give me more questions, even if they're not SMP related. I just like answering stuff. While I do a silly, goofy build. My darling, when the heart starts in my heart. Oof, you have a question? Give me, Izzy, give me! Also, I'm moving this roof all out by 1 because I have decided I need it to be out by 1. The devil's after us. Favorite flower in Minecraft? Blue orchids. In real life? Oof. Real life is really hard. Real life is really hard to pick a favorite flower for me. I do quite like bluebells, and I also like hibiscus flowers are pretty cute. And lavender is kind of nice. Least favorite thing in the world? Oh god, that's too broad of a question. That's too broad of a question. I'm not sure what my least favorite thing is, apart from people being assholes for no reason. I heard earlier, but do you let members write/act out their own stories? Do you work with members and write them into the overall story? Both! We do both. And so the way that works is if people have an idea for their character but aren't too sure how they want to do it or where they want to take it, they can come to me and I will write them a quest line. So our member Moon, they had the idea of trying to find their mother and them exploring ancient cities in order to do so, because they haven't really done a lot of stuff in ancient cities in default Minecraft before. And I said, okay, I can write you some stuff for that. So I wrote the books that they were going to find. I arranged the boss fight that they had for their final. And I gave them the bare minimum information of, here is this thing, here is that thing, you go there. And then they did it, and it was a surprise for them, and they got to see it. And that doesn't really incorporate them into the main plot of the server, but it's very much tangential. So like they learn information which could be useful for people who are on the main plot, even though they aren't on the main plot. But it also worked to sort of explain why they were involved in the finale of Arc 1 by giving them more relevance. Aside from those quests, we also have what is the also, Izzy, no, you are wonderful, shut up. Okay, so you're basically a game slash master's dungeon master. Yes, basically. But then we have characters who, if anyone ever needs help, like coming up with character ideas and stuff, we always offer to help them. But Bagel is a great example of a member who we've only given them one thing. And that was their most recent lore stream where they broke into the auction house to steal an item that was going to be sold at the auction happening next month. We told them to do that. We said, hey, this makes sense for your character to do once they find out about this. Would you want to do this? And they said yes. And I was like, cool. But aside from that, they've done all of their stuff that has been themselves, and that has been them figuring stuff out that they wanted to do and what their arc wanted to be, and they did it, and it was wonderful. It can be a little bit difficult sometimes, depending on the people doing the lore, because we don't like to police people, but sometimes we'll be a bit more attentive to people who we know are either struggling or we know aren't having the best time, to make sure that they have a good time going forward, or that there aren't any, like, issues going on. But it's like a 50-50 depending on the person basis, I guess, is the best way to put it. Crush, I am Aero Ace. I don't know what a crush is. I do, I just have not had one. Probably had a squish before. And a squish, for anyone who doesn't know, is sort of like when someone is asexual or aromantic and they think they have a crush on somebody, it's actually a squish. And I don't know how else to describe it, other than it's not really a crush. It's just you like a person and you think it's a crush when it isn't, because, I don't know. That's not a very eloquent explanation of what a squish is. You can Google it. Can I ask what's been your fave bit of lore you have written on the server? And so I thought, yes, there is, Izzy! I found that out like a couple months ago, and I was like, yo, I've had so many of these, because my brain tries to make me acceptable to normal human society. Literally, I was in year 2, which is fucking like 5 years old, probably younger, or maybe older, I don't know. I don't know how things work. And I was like, okay, girls have crushes on boys, and they date them. I was a baby. And I was like, I now have a crush on this guy. And then his best friend took an interest in me, and I was like, okay, now I have a crush on this guy. Because this is what girls do, right? They have crushes on boys and they date them. Closest friend, probably El Ponferry, and my friend Charlie. Charlie's lovely. I miss them. They're not dead, don't worry. I just haven't seen them in a while. Was on your server? On the place I'm building right now, this is modded because this is for the Create SMP, because I'm doing a build here, but for Mithril, yes and no. Hey! Nice one. Let's go. Yes and no is the best way to answer that. So the server is vanilla. You can play on it with 0 mods installed whatsoever. You don't need any. However, we do have a mod pack of client-side mods that we recommend people use. So I have a couple of them on here, like 3D skin layers, just because it's a nice aesthetic mod. I also use better third person, where you can use like big spin panorama, or I don't actually have a couple of the mods on here. But we suggest some things people put on just because it enhances the overall experience. I guess they're more like additive for Minecraft roleplays. All of the mods though are server side, and they're all very minimal. Like we have one mod which allows us to sit down on like slabs and stairs, or just whenever we do /sit, also lets you lay down and do a spin. And we also have a pronoun mod for put pronouns in chat and give you nicknames, so someone can, if someone's doing lore but their username doesn't match their character name, they can change it. Don't need mods but you can use them. Exactly. There's a couple that are on the server, but they're all server-side, so it's not, like, modded. Mithril SMP is cool, though, because we do have custom items and things, which are all added through, like, how to explain? They're added through a data pack. Or, well, I guess... Yeah, I'd say that they're added through, like, a data pack. But they're custom, so... It's basically, we have a thing that lets me import my own custom models, and then I make those into custom crafting recipes using this other thing, which is like a mod or data pack or something that is server-side only. and then that allows us to have like mithril tools and such, which is really difficult to explain. If I was on the actual server right now, I'd show you, but I'm not, so I can't. And I need... Answer my question. I didn't... I think I did, Evan, but I don't remember, so can you put it again? Because I think I did, but I don't remember. I kind of went on a tangent, and I have forgotten what it was. Da 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 da. Favorite lore? Ooh, I read it out and I didn't answer it, that's what happened. I was really excited for when me and Elle did lore with our two characters in the summoning room. I'm not too happy with how I ended up acting out that particular lore. I feel like I didn't do it to the standard that I had been wanted it to be. But I was really looking forward to it. I really liked mine and Mars's recently, just because that's been a thing that we've been planning for a super duper long time. So Mars and Katie's arcs, to be specific, have been ones that I've really been enjoying. And I guess one of the things I'm really looking forward to in the future is like the auction, obviously, but also me and Elle have something going on before the auction, which will be like really interesting and that we've been planning for a bit. And of course, Izzy's cameo as the Cavern Crawler, which my only nitpick was that is that I wish it had gone on for longer, but that was probably us muddling about when in our testing phases more than anything, but it worked really well for how it happened, and Izzy did wonderfully, as they always do in everything. I feel like I can be a bit self-critical, especially when it's something that I have been hyping up for a long time. And I think that was what happened with my and Elle lore that we did together last. Sometimes I just gotta chill out. Well, not the last one, but the one where our characters like properly spoke to each other. Yeah, I know. I think it doesn't help that I have refused to go back and rewatch that lore. So at some point when I get to editing it, I'll probably either get freaked out because I'll feel like I did a bad job, or I'll actually realize I did a pretty good job and I'll like it. But I just have to get to that one when I have so many things to edit. But I'll get to that eventually. Real, thank you. But I think right now I'm really excited for Mars's stuff because he's been putting a lot of work into it. He really likes his character. I really like the arc that he's been doing for them, and like it's just very interesting. And I've also really liked Bagel's arc that they've just. I suppose you could say Bagel's finished their character's first arc, that being them entering the valley and then eventually losing their mask, and now they are beginning their new arc. Now as fully Lilith. And I love you, Marzaki. Marzaki is my guys. Did you know Marzaki is my internet brother, and I love him. Did you know that I love him with my whole heart, and that he is so wonderful? And he gets a little kiss on the forehead. Mwah. Hee. Yeah, I have a lot of things I look forward to. Peace a lot. What if I just? Oh no. Oh fuck, the Texas accents come back. Oh fuck, oh shit. What if Scarlet just does a yippee-ki-yay motherfucker shout out for Marzaki? Wouldn't that be neat? Wouldn't that be fucking neato? I gotta stop. Okay. I'm calm, I'm collected, I am British, I sip my tea. And I have a lovely time. I sip my tea and everything is okay because I sip my tea. You do not want to know how hard it was leading up to Mars's lore the other day to not start speaking in Texas accent. Both me and Mars have been conditioned for it, and it's not okay. You're British? I am British. I am British. Yes, tea. Maple Chai, did you not know I was British? You're also British. Well, I didn't know you were British, so that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Honestly, I kind of assumed you were Irish like Bagel. A web that'll spread through the world. Of the highs and lows. Of no. Leave a fable. Yeah, but I only found out Bagel is Irish like last week. I think that's because Bagel doesn't have a super strong accent. Like sometimes you can hear it. Like sometimes when they yell, I can hear it. But I don't usually. And then there's Bean, who's one has Scottish in their username, and two sounds very Scottish to me. It's not like the strongest Scottish accent either, but it sounds Scottish to me. But Irish, so you're correct. Hey, half correct. Half correct. I always find it funny when people like are like, you're British? Like, what did you think I was? American? I mean, I guess some Americans do stream at the same times that I stream, but I'm also do it because I can guarantee that people aren't gonna be in schools at 7. Because, you know, UK time. Because even clubs don't last till 7 usually, unless the school is insane, and potentially abusive. How does no one else hear how they sound so Irish to me? Bagel sounds Irish to me, but it depends on what they're saying. Like, sometimes I can really hear it, sometimes I just have it as, like, a subconscious thing of, yeah, they're Irish. What, I thought you were, my mind just didn't immediately go to British. That's fair. I think it's one of the things of growing up on the internet is I've watched so many different, like, British, American, Irish, Scottish, just so many different people from different countries I've watched on YouTube throughout my whole life. So my accent is probably a little bit muddled with the ones that I grew up listening to. I do think, like, it's certain things that I say come out pretty British because my grandmother was a proper spoken woman, and I got made fun of in school for saying the word baton, like I say it, because they thought it sounded French. And I was like, no, this is just how I say it, because this is how my grandmother said it. And they were like, El Bozo. And I was like, that's not even a saying that exists yet. This is 2010. American at first, so now I can hear that accent really well. So I think it just becomes like, once you know somebody has that thing, you start to associate it with them more. I think this is looking really cute. I kind of just forgot to add the windmill. Or I didn't forget. I was like, I don't know where to put it. Because my initial thought was to put it in the corner here. Or like just a tower coming out of here, but I feel like it's too small and it will get obscured. But I could try and add that in. My other idea is just to like put it like here. Because this back wall is kind of really bare as it is. So it could be interesting to have a windmill just like coming at the side here. I kind of like going out here more than going in here because it's more visually interesting. So I'll try and add that in a minute. On the server again. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. See, what I'm dreading right now is because, again, because Mithril is such a big thing, like, as in scope-wise, it's got so many different moving parts, and stuff going on constantly, it's a hard thing to explain to people. And because we've had probably double the lore that we had in Arc 1 happen in Arc 2 so far, maybe more by the end, it becomes a lot more difficult to summarize. So, I've got to think of ways to concisely explain to people exactly what happens on the SMP in a short video format. And so I'm kind of pre-planning what I'm gonna have to say in that video. How do you balance everyone's stories to make them matter in the grand scheme of the overall story? I guess what's helped me is when Mithril SMP started, we said, okay, we already have Mithril, the item, the metal that enhances Netherite tools. Let's make that important. And then we blew up from there. So the making that important was ancient civilization that worship this metal, 3 deities that would be important per arc. And we knew what the end goal of the server was going to be, and then we just had to think about how to get there, and we thought about that per arc. And by that I mean me and my friend Sky, who I co-own it with, thought of the initial concepts, and then I've fleshed them out and evolved them from there. So knowing where the story is going allows me to add other people into the story in a collective way that not everyone will initially realize. So, Moon, for example, pirate searching for their mother. Initially, I had no reason to really try and involve that in the main storyline of anything, but Moon was doing a lot of lore with Elle, and then they did some lore with me, and we both invited them to come to the final. Because they're just a nice person, and we wanted them to be around. But it was kind of a little bit of an oversight on our part that their character was going to be confused with what was going on, and wouldn't really get that much from it other than more questions than they went in with. So when I was writing their quest for Arc 2, I knew it had to be something to do with their mother, but I knew their mother wouldn't have ever been in the valley, because outside of, character, Moon knows where their mother was, just not in character Moon. We're talking about a lore SMP that I run, and all the little details about it. Why is my phone being spammed right now? It's fucking PayPal emails. It's because of the donation earlier. Why are they coming through just now? That's annoying. Okay. Don't you worry about it, it's very fun. But when I was writing the books for their quest, I was like, okay, let's give Moon some relevancy to retroactively explain why them being at the temple for the final of Arc 1 makes sense. And so doing that was making their aunt a character who we already knew existed in the story, a scholar by the name of Hilaria. And they didn't have too much importance in Arc 1 other than making or writing the recipe for how to craft wings that we found to let everyone use elytras. But we expanded off of that character to give them more presence and give Moon more information. So Moon's quest, you find out more about the resistance that was made to fight Warren, who was the big bad god of the valley. Well, not big and bad, but they created the valley and not everyone was really happy with them. And so I got to write in all of this cool history about the ancient cities which existed before the valley and were forced to unite under this god's banner or be destroyed. And they weren't happy with that. So someone from the surface was like, hey, join this resistance and then you won't have to bend to his will anymore. And they were like, yeah, sure. And they made the wardens for that purpose. And that's why they exist in the Mithril universe, is because they were made as protectors for the ancient cities and repurposed as fighting machines. So it's taking, like, the stuff that I already knew existed, that being a resistance that caused, stuff that happened in the valley long ago, and ancient cities existing as a thing in Minecraft already, and combining them together with Moon to make a relevant story path. My brain kind of goes a mile a minute, so it's really hard to explain a lot of this stuff. Hello, Jelly. We were just talking about Mithril lore stuff. We're having a fun time. But it's an interesting thing, and I think part of it comes to the fact that a lot of our characters have mystery going on with them. Like Bryce, lovely Fizuk, his character, he wanted to be a warlock, but he didn't want his character to know. So him out of character does not know who his patron is. He does not know why he was told to search for Celine, or any of this stuff. But I know, and I know he will find out eventually, and then we'll have a conversation about it to flesh it out more. But, yeah, it's hard to explain, but I guess it's knowing where you're going, it's knowing where you're going, and then thinking about what could act in service of getting you there. And yeah, and you could even like see stuff like that with Mars's whole thing of them seeing Celine a couple of times and getting a personalized message about the auction to them, eventually selling their soul to them. It's all very fun. Another question, do you prefer when lore is planned out really well or when it is pretty much entirely improv or somewhere in between? somewhere in between. So the way that we usually structure it is I like it when it's like, hey, you, SMP member, I want to do lore with you. What would you like to do? And then think about something to do. I think it's more interesting where it's not just that these two characters are meeting, unless you're planning for that to follow up into something more interesting in the future. But what is said and what is done, I guess I would say loose plans is what we usually go for, but it depends on the person. So me and Elle, we go into lore with a singular idea of this is what we're talking about, and we'd not plan anything else. We just talk and we see where we go, and our energy matches that. We don't need a lot more planning. But Mars prefers things to be a little bit more structured. So instead of being like, we're just going to talk about a couple of things here, it's going to be like, okay, for the Tea Party stream that we did, it was, we are going to talk about the, like, I'm going to ask both of you how you're doing. I'm going to ask about the invitation to the auction that you got, so we can highlight that Mars got something different than the two of us. I'm going to talk about the book that has gone missing from my order because Mars's character stole it. Katie, it's a book that Katie's character wants, and it's a book that my character ordered and no longer knows where it is. And all these little things, because sometimes people like things to be more structured. And then we have things like the festival, which was, there's a festival going on, everyone show up. Which are completely unstructured, other than some people being like, my character's probably going to be asking about this, or my character's probably going to be doing this. So I think I was saying earlier that Mithril is a structured SMP but not scripted, because I think... How to phrase? I like when a server is lore-based, especially to the extent that Mithril is. I like it when things are going a direction. And what really takes me out of some other SMPs that I've seen is when lore comes out of nowhere, or things are said that have just never been seen or shown to have happened. And sometimes it can work, like Shelby on like Empire's SMP. I don't like Witchcraft SMP didn't exist when they first started that. I don't think it was an intentional thing to make their characters the same person. Slight Empire's SMP spoilers. I don't think it was intentional for them to be the same person from the beginning. But I think once Witchcraft started, Shelby was like, oh, okay, I'm going to make these characters the same thing. How do I get there? And it felt the slightest bit rushed. But it overall worked with the arc that their Empire's character had been going down. But that's sort of like it's a little bit of an Aphmau effect of Aphmau's roleplays used to be written before they were recorded and not planned out, which left to a lot of inconsistencies and a lot of things that just people didn't understand. But you don't want to have things too heavily thought out or planned, because then it becomes too scripted and then too difficult to manage. I guess is the best way to put it. I'm definitely not phrasing this as eloquently as I could. An SMP, the main plot, and then all the characters can make their own character arcs, and it's up to them to investigate the plot or make their own character stories. The plot is separate from characters, but except I use events as a way to bring characters' backstories, but mostly it's of memes. See, that's basically the same thing that we do. I guess the main difference is Arc 1, it was very much whoever wants to be involved in this quest has to engage with these books, and only 3 people did, and so I encouraged other people and was like, hey, would you like to get involved in this at this point? And some of them were like, yes, and then we added them. Like, my friend Charlie was added in the second log, because I knew it would be relevant to her character, because I'd written it to be relevant to her, because she has amnesia in character. But I guess it's sort of one of those things of sometimes I will be like, you are now involved in this plot without realizing it, or you want to be involved in this plot. Okay, sure. It just depends on if I think it fits or not. And I could rant about scripted SMPs. Oh, I understand, bestie. Don't you worry. I do think there is a way to do them. But it's definitely hard. I think scripted SMPs work better for video content, in my opinion. Like, a lot of the old roleplays that I used to watch are all video edits, are all YouTube videos. None of them are ever streamed. Some of the people who did them were streamers, but they would never stream their lore or any of that stuff. And I feel like if you want to make something that is super scripted and structured, it works easier to do it in a video format, but the problem with that is editing. My basis and stolen my heart. I just think improv is fun. I like having an idea and then being able to riff off of that idea in different ways and stuff. And if I wanted to do something scripted, I would probably do like a machinima, but that's far too much effort. To pull off, to be honest. I feel like scripted stuff can work, but it's just so hard to do. Yeah. That's what I mean, like, not quite what I'm trying to explain, but Moon has Fallen, which is a cinematic YouTube roleplay, Minecraft roleplay series. I voice acted a character for that. That is scripted in that all the footage is edited and gathered by Moon, and I think some of their friends, and then they get voice actors to voice the characters separate from it. And I think that really works. How do I pop out chat on my stream? I mean, you typed in chat, so you can probably see it, so I don't know what you're asking, but I don't know. I don't bloody know. Unless you get like Chatterino, which is a download. I think you gotta thank you for the words. Where was I? And you say what you need to say, planning to walk away. But you have to stay trapped when you found something new. And I'm sorry I'm not enough. Thank God they rescued you. Always wanted, so you got your dream come true. Hello, hello. Someone remind me what I was saying, because I kind of got thrown off. But, oh no, scripted stuff, yeah. I feel like if you want to use Minecraft as a storytelling medium and you are wanting to tell a really specific story that is scripted, I think a YouTube series works better, personally. Just because it gives you more control, and if you're going to be scripting it anyway, then you probably are going to want that more control. And obviously it's a person-by-person basis, but that's just like my thing of it. If I want to do something that was fully scripted and planned out, I would do a YouTube series. But YouTube series can also be used for improvisation. I think it's just because of the editing medium of it, it gives you more leeway to, like, one, you can redo things easier because it's not a live audience, and two, I guess because it's not improv, you can sort of, no, it is improv, but it's not live improv, you can sort of set things up a little differently. And again, that's a nitpick that I have with a lot of the old SMP YouTube videos I used to watch, was they'd be really good, they'd be really cool, they'd have improv and stuff, but they wouldn't really have a structure of what their story was going forward, or at least it didn't feel like they did. And maybe that was just something of, like, the main plot being more relevant to some people other than others, so depending on the perspective, you got a better thing. Hello, Ghost. Lovely to have you. Hope you're having a lovely, lovely day. But yeah, I need to rant about something else. Well, I can rant about this forever, but my brain is getting muddled with what I am saying, and honestly, I do not remember what I have just said the past 2 seconds ago, other than it was about scripted stuff. But yeah, I guess TLDR, it can work, but it's more annoying. Especially if you're trying to do it live. I feel like things like that should be more, like, X thing is going to happen and Y thing is gonna happen. Like, we have a stream that we're planning for Mithril, which is very much Jay and Artemis go somewhere, this person is there, that person is there, this happens, that happens, they leave. It's a bit more structured because it's an important thing, but it's not as big. But it's honestly very helpful for me. I'm glad. I'm getting very tongue-tied with how I'm explaining things, unfortunately. Gurmy, I can do it for you. Oh, bye jelly, bye jelly, bye jelly. I'm liking this, by the way, guys. I'm actually really liking this. Ignore the pink wall down here. Actually, I'll change that right now. me. We'll do both of these. Structure, not script. I do like that. Yeah, exactly. Like, again, scripted stuff should be stuff that is recorded. You can have a structure and do a lot of improvisation, and it is still fun, and it can still be what you want it to be. Boop. But it's less stressful because you don't gotta make sure you're saying the correct word. And I think it leads to a more fluid conversation than having something that is 100% totally scripted. And it can just be, like, pretty fun. And sure, that can sometimes lead to fumbles, but that just happens in, like, normal conversation, doesn't it? Boop-a-doop. There are definitely merits to both ends of it, but I like how we do lore on Mithril. Just because that's just how we've always done it. It was my first time doing Minecraft lore ever, so it's definitely improved and evolved as time has gone on, and I'm a lot happier with it now than I think I was when it first started, because again, editing that first YouTube video was fucking painful, just because I had to redo half of it because it was old and I hated it. But I really enjoy the outcome, and I really like how lore is handled now because it's just a lot, like, nicer. Not it was bad. I think just that first episode was too many people and it made it overwhelming. In lore and roleplay, I also like talking points, but not a full script. Like, these are things you have to hit during the conversation, and the conversation however you want, hit these points again. Actually, you know what? I'm pulling up the thing that I had for my Katie and Mars's Tea Party stream. Because that is literally, like, exactly what we did. We don't usually write them down in, like, a tangible thing, but for people like me and Mars, where we have a conversation and we move topics every 2 seconds because we both suspect we have ADHD, but we're not diagnosed, or, like, we both suspect we have something. But it's really helpful for him to have notes down, and it's also helpful for me sometimes. Like, I did lore plan for today. Mars and Katie get 2 letters, one from me having invited them to tea, the other from Celine announcing the auction. Both come to the tea house, either bumping each other, and this is the thing, we do, like, either things to be like, this can happen or this can happen, doesn't matter. It's okay, Mars, because I love you and I love doing this. It's like either bumping into each other on the way to the tea house or meeting me there at the building. So it's like, if they bump into each other, they bump into each other. If they don't, it doesn't matter. Head upstairs, share tea and food, and start conversation. And we didn't do this verbatim as it was planned, but that's so fair, Izzy. That is so fair. Like, whatever you need to help relax when doing stuff, it's very fair, because it can be stressful. It really can be. I'm gonna stare at this for a minute while I just go through this. Was start by talking about the letters and Celine's ones, which we actually didn't start with. We started with the how are you feeling, because I got confused. Then we started talking about how they're feeling. I gave them the gifts, and we talked about the flying lesson, which was the previous stream that had happened. We were gonna talk to we wanted to try and slip stuff about Rose in, because that's another character who my character hasn't met, but who Mars and Katie have both been doing stuff with. So we wanted to have a little conversation about them during that thing, if we could manage it. And we also wanted to talk about my book, which had gone missing, which is a book about sea elves, which Katie's character is, and Mars's character is the person who took the book. So it was an important thing to be brought up. And then we talked about some other things, like during that stream, we talked about fairy tales, and we came up with, on the fly, a sea elf book that was the 3 little pigs, but it was the 3 goldfish, the 3 clownfish, and a crocodile as the big bad wolf. And that was just, off the mark, verbatim. Let anyone in your Minecraft server? Nope, it's a application-only Minecraft content creator roleplay SMP that is closed right now. I've been saying applications will open again sometime July. But yeah, we don't just let anybody in. I don't have a rough script or talking points. I just freeze and I don't know what to do. That's very fair, and that's that's why we like to do it structured. If you One thing I don't like is if people are like, I want to do lore review, and like, okay, cool, let's do lore. And then they start the lore without knowing what they're doing, because then it just feels hollow and meaningless, because it's not adding to anything. But if you start doing lore, and you have at least a small basis of what you want to happen, doesn't have to be too over the top, it's just got to be a little thing. Like Jelly and Bagel, they bumped into each other in the harbor. They did pranks together. That was the whole plan for that stream, was Bagel was going to give Jelly a lesson on pranking, and both of their characters played into it. So Jelly's just had a traumatizing experience in a flying lesson. They're feeling very insecure. Bagel kind of inadvertently helped them feel a bit better. And Bagel had a meltdown in front of Artemis for reasons. But they were all things that were like soft planned, but not fully planned. And there were a lot of things were like, this is what my character is acting, but it wasn't like a said thing. They just acted that way because it made sense. But yeah, there's a lot of different ways you can do it, and whatever works for whatever people. I just chill and vibe. How you doing? I'm doing good, MS. I am doing good. We've been talking about Mithril and lore and Minecraft and roleplay, and I've just been really getting into it. I just like storytelling. I'll just enjoy it. I'm expanding this out by one. Because it's free everywhere else, but not here, so I don't like it. Windows sing by the rain. I would do anything for you. Cool. The pranking Cambions. So true. So true. That was also why they wanted to do lore together, because they are the only two Cambions on the server. Because, you know, they're silly and goofy like that. Cambion is half demon, so Jelly is half human, half demon, and then Bagel is half enderman, half demon. Probably a little bit of human in there as well, because they look pretty human-esque. But, yeah. Okay. That one's done. Let me get a log for this. This song I like, but it's too slow. Yeah. Again. Mission is transmission. That's really fun. That's very, very cool. One of my favorite things is sometimes on Twitter, rarely, we'll get people do like, we don't really get a lot of fan art for the SMP, but sometimes I'll see people like muse about character stuff or in the public Discord. And it's really, really cute to see people take an interest. I know Skylar's written a character before, and shared it there, which is really, really cute to see. Just made me feel all like, oh, people appreciate this and they like it and they want to be a part of it. It's very fun. It's very fun. Character crafting is just a really fun thing. But another thing that, like, Mithril's a lore SMP, sure, but we make it a really big point that if people don't want to do lore, they don't have to. Like, yeah, it's a lore-based server, but so long as you're playing, you're fine. We do encourage everyone to have a character. Oh god, my PC is dying. But if they don't, like, we encourage everyone to have a character if they want to participate in events. But aside from that, we're not really too stressful about it. Oh my god. My PC just freaked out because it was trying to turn the blue light filter on. It freaked out because it was trying to turn the blue light filter on. Thanks, bestie. I need to see a closer image of this house because I want to know what the water wheel is made of. Because it's a lot more complex than I've put it here. Oh my god, this is a lot more complex. Mew and Mithril SMP. I want trapdoors. Because I want to work with the space that we have here. Actually, we'll go dark. Like this one. I am new. Hello! Welcome! Welcome to the build time. Hope you're having a lovely, lovely day. My name is Yay! Ha 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 ha! Wordplay. We love it. It's me or the medicine. Wow. I can feel my throat going all silly, but that's probably just because I haven't done a lot of talking recently. Oof. It is going good. It is going great. Close, so close, and never let it go. Begins to write a story that bends right out of my control. I don't know. Is that just how it goes? I kind of don't want this to be completely flush, so I might move this all forward again. Do I have well it on? I'm pretty sure I've well it on. I'm pretty sure I installed that on this world. And I don't. Oh, I do. That's wonderful. Oh, stones that walls I'll never climb. So let's just do a quick little... paste. There. Oh god. I had to get rid of that box because my hotkey isn't working. Oh, that was what I wanted. I'm gonna put those over here. One little block there. I don't know. No voice over there. Oh, thank you. Like I said, it's getting a little bit sore because I don't really have my cough anymore, but it's still a little bit weak. Probably it's like I haven't been doing a lot of talking recently. So that's probably it. Thank you, Ella Plays, for the follow. Thank you so much. You're so very muchly appreciated. Never make it back, so I'll throw. Never climb. Sense of time. The hourglass. Da 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 da. That's so fair. That's fair. I need to remember to turn my PC like fully off when I go to bed because I always shut it down, but I don't usually like unplug it and stuff. I used to when I was in my old room, because I had a really hard time sleeping with the lights of it on, but I no longer have that problem. So I stopped turning off at night, but it still uses electricity. If you leave it like plugged in and switched on overnight, so it's just better to turn it off. But I don't always remember, and I feel bad. I need to try to remember more. Think I'll ever make it back? I'll throw at the climb. You and you are back. Oh, I'm so happy to have you back. It's got struggle times. Oh wait, it's nice after. Ah, yeah, no. I had tonsillitis really bad as a kid, so I get if I get sick, especially like if it's something that targets my throat, which it always is, because your tonsils are your first line of defense against like everything. My tonsils always die very easily, and I get coughs very easily. I don't lose my voice super easy, but it hurts sometimes. I'm just a man. I'm a freak. What I'm hoping I can do with this water wheel. That's about like the basic shape that I'd want for it. I think we might get these in here as well. You every day got me, I'm not okay. Actually, we might. No, I don't really like that. I wanted to make it thinner, but I don't really like how that looks. But we'll just put these in. Because I think that looks pretty good. Vertical slabs, can we... I feel like that might feel a bit too modded, but I would also just like to have them in vanilla Minecraft, because I personally think I would use them a lot. Because they would be a great building asset. The less I can breathe. It looks pretty like you. No, I think it looks pretty like you. Look, it has a pink roof, which is like your pink hair, so it's you. But there is a water wheel in the create mod. And what I'm kind of hoping is that I can kind of shove it inside, which I think that should work. Replace this thing with like an axle, and then maybe just like surround it in trapdoors to make it look more proper. Because I think the axle inside will be a thinner hole. Most likely. Ah! And then... I don't know if this is... I don't think this will move because it's not hooked up to anything. But then you put water on top of it. Oh no, it does move! Look at that. And then we have a working water wheel. It's just because the water wheels in the crate mod are really small. Yes, but I had... Oh no, no. It's an L house, oh my god. Really like everyone in this chat, this chat, yes, that's the word. Everyone in this chat, for sure, for sure. But I'm quite liking it. I think we'll try do some little no, that feels a bit much. I think the corners, yes, and then I think the rest of them I might do slabs. You have loved. Honestly, I might like it better if I do these and then do the slabs, like I said. And that could be cute. Work. Thank you, Cosmic Mess, for the follow. Thank you so much. Love that username. I think, thank you. I'm glad you guys like it. I want to, like, step up my building skills. This is the very, very basic of it because I want to add more embellishments than what it currently has, because you see it's a little bit flat. I'm gonna add in a flower box and then some more trapdoors. And probably some other things to it to make it look a little bit more interesting. Actually I'm realizing that the picture that I had pulled up when my thing messed up is different than the one I initially had. I didn't save the one I initially had, which is kind of sad, but it's also fine. I'm sure if I just put Minecraft after this on Pinterest, it will show up with the correct one that I was looking at originally, probably. It hasn't, but I did find a windmill house, which I might actually keep open for later. One of them's got a really tall tower. Ooh, those are pretty. Because windmills work on this, and I'm like, yo, watermill thing. Yeah, it's got a working one, because create mod. Look at it. Look at it spin. Look at it spin. But it looks fancier because I made a big one. But I like that. And then there'll probably be a basement. To be silly goofy with it. We'll have a basement to be silly goofy with it. It's gonna break into this because I don't really know what's meant to be happening back here. I'm just gonna do that for now. We'll put like flowers there or something. Thank you so much for the follow, Panda. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And we'll just add these in as a little bit of graphical interest. And bleed for you know me, like you know me. Only tongue till your blood goes blue. Ooh, yeah, I know you. Okay, now we can do a little bit of making this more interesting by adding some other blocks. Like rounded stone brick. And just like putting this in kind of randomly makes it seem more interesting because it's a different block palette. Well, not different block palette, it's the same block, just like different versions. And it makes it feel a little more interesting. Ooh, yeah, I know you. It's just like in survival, this is going to be a bitch. I'm going to try install and figure out how to use Litmatica. Because I've used it once before, but I wasn't really a big fan of it. but I'm gonna try and figure out how to use it again. And maybe it will explain, oh, this is knocking the torches that I placed down, it's fine. Maybe I'll be able to figure out something of how to actually put this together in a way that I like in the survival world. Oh, Cast, I think, no, it's a water wheel sort of farmer-esque house. But I like it a lot. You know what else I like a lot? I like you, chat, you're lovely. On and on and on and on and on and on and screaming mornings just like mornings. I forgot to do the undersides, wait. Mornings and together in any weather. Getting home. Know me. Love me. Singing is, oh, thank you. I'm really glad you like it. Yeah, no, yeah. If you like my singing, current follower goal is writing a Minecraft parody and then also performing it. So, you know, if we get to that, it's gonna be so fun. I'm gonna do a whole Google form to figure out what song you guys want me to make a parody off of and what make the parody about. I'm looking forward to it. You should also look forward to it, and you should all also follow, because yes. Because funny number. Because if I get the funny number, I'll be so happy. Do, 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 do. Okay, then it's etched. I do really like how the etched one looks. Da, 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 da. You don't mind. Think there's something wrong with a friend of mine. Way all the time, looking for the past for something. Okay, I just remembered something that I was thinking earlier. And it's to do with the fact that I was watching old Minecraft roleplays again. There is nothing more iconic than opening one of those up and then finding out that, and then watching as an aromantic man and his best friend adopt a plant child, and then have to explain to them why one of the friends who she says as a father has a girlfriend but isn't with the other guy because they're not in a relationship, and it's really, really cute, and it was really, really stupid, and I was like, this is great. This is the representation that I need in my Minecraft roleplays. A romantic demon dice wizard, my beloved. That's such a random thing to call out, but I was like, I loved that scene. It was stupid, but I loved it. Oh god, my throat is actually kind of going. That's not good. That is not good. I need more water, but I'm out of water, guys. I'm out of water, but I think we'll do some more speckling on this and end in a bit, because I am still sleepy, but we're not ending right yet. Because this is stage 1, is changing some of the blocks out to be, you know, different and silly. Which would be more annoying for me to get. We're gonna need a carpenter's table and a mason's table for all the blocks that I'm using. So, you know, that's gonna be so fun. Soar into your dreams and turn them into nightmares. Go get a water. Go get a water. I'll get a water, but I'll get a water when I am not streaming. It's my bad, because I thought I had enough of it in my cup when I started, but it turns out I really didn't. Before she sets fire to the sheets, doesn't sleep. I've put this song on so many playlists, I'm low-key sick of it now. Like, I really love it, it's a great song, I just have it on too many playlists. And again, she's kissing the devil, she's killing her friends. Mozaki, you can't do this to me. You can't do this to me. Do you really want me to run downstairs and get a water? Is that what you're telling me? Are you really telling me to waste my precious streamer time to run downstairs and get a water to hydrate my dying throat? I can't believe the audacity, guys. Yes, heart. Aw. Oh, well, how can I say no to a cute little guy? A cute little guy like that. Let me finish the stone first, and I'll go grab a water real quick. If she likes what she sees, Counting the matches before she sets fire to the sheets. That's what I find stupid though, is people being like, you can't be this because you like this. Like, hello? You're basing your opinions off of a social construct. It's like when people be like, if a trans boy likes makeup, and someone goes to them, you can't be a trans boy, you like makeup. Like, makeup isn't a solely feminine thing. Actors wear makeup in movies regardless of sex or gender all of the fucking time. Stop putting your perceptions on other people. Let them live and be themselves and be comfortable in their own fucking skin. Please and thank you. Good night. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. El Bozo. Brick Road. See, that already looks like a lot more interesting because it's a bunch of different blocks. Like, I like how that looks a lot more. And I was also going to do something similar to the roof, but we only have like one pink block, and that is like this. Boop, boop. I spend the nights and I think to myself on the yellow brick road. I don't listen to Elton John a lot. I've listened to this song quite a bit because it's on mine and Mars's playlist, but I don't listen to him a lot. You see, that just feels more fun. That just feels more fun to have a couple of different blocks that like match the color scheme. It's not quite doing a gradient, it's just kind of diversifying the block palette, which is more annoying to do. It's why a lot of people don't do it, but it looks better. Me. I'm just trying to like step up my building. I look at Rose Cucumber on Twitter and I go, I wish I was half the builder you were, because their builds are so beautiful. Their stuff is so beautiful, and I'm like, I want it, put it in my hands right now. And then they do not, and I cry about it. Goodbye, yellow brick road. Go. My vow. Up, up, up. Here we go. I think to myself on the yellow brick road. Now we need the trapdoor. I want to put it here, but I can't put it here because the corner. Because the corner is silly. The corner is silly and stupid and goofy. And not in a way that I enjoy. So what I might do... Oh, I'm skipping this one because it's Finnish. No offense, Mars, but I can't sing Finnish songs. I can't... It's a good song, I just can't sing it. Well, we'll put these in the corner. This is my favorite epic musical song, though. Like this, probably because it's the one I've listened to the most. That's not a teaching of mine. You've grown soft. Dead friends can attest. Put your emotions aside. Because I'm finished. No! No. It's because I can't sing. It's because I can't speak another language. It's a good song, even though I don't fucking understand what's happening. This way. This way. You get yours and I'll keep mine. Point me this way. This way. Consider this is my goodbye. Why should I be surprised? Just entitled in vain. Unlike you, every time someone dies, I'm left alive with a pain. Hey, I'd rather sleep at night. I saw you as a friend, but now I'm gone. I might head now this way. This way. Out of sight and out of mind this way. Me trying to find the water wheel that I was basing off of this way. But I can't find it. Fuck. I could really find it if I check my history, but can I be bothered? No, not right now. Looking for a friend. Mistook you for a general. Effort spent. At least I know what I'm fighting for. To be known as you claim you're so much wiser. Why is your life spent all alone? You're alone. I kind of like that. One day, to stand one day, but not today. After all, your way. Oh, that's the wrong one. But I kind of like that. I kind of like that a little bit more. Do I? No. I do and I don't. I might replace that one down here instead. This is my goodbye. This is my goodbye. This is my goodbye. Do 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 do. Oh oh. Oh 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 oh. I love that song. I also love this one. Because sometimes you just don't want to have a human flesh. Sometimes you just want to be a little goblin. Sometimes I want to be goblin. All the time I want to be goblin. I have a goblin OC called Jingle, and I love them. I'm doing well, Evan. Throat's a little sore, but I'm doing well. Hours so I can be free. It sounds a little strange. Well, then we do this. Then we do that, and I think that's kind of cute. Adds a little bit of embellishment. Not for having a bad throat. No, it's not. It's just because again, I've been talking for a while, but we're gonna be ending soon, so it'll be fine. I'll go and grab some more water, and I will be healthy. I will be healthy. Just not right now. Oh, I missed some slabs here. I will do those 2 hydrates off stream. I will do them. Once I grab water, I will do them. I would hate my body if I grew wings and disappeared into the sky. What would matter if I could swoop down and kill them from 30 feet high? And slip to the night. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. It's just thinking about what I kind of want to build and then doing more. I haven't added in the windmill that I want to add. Like, I want to put it this side, but I'll probably leave that for today and add something at some point. Let me get dark oak fence. Half of building is just layering. Like, I put those in there, but if I... Yeah, I think these instead. Just in the corners. And then maybe we can also have them, like, here? To be little, like, we can put lanterns on them. Or, I guess, no, lanterns could go on these as well, though. Oh, no, lanterns can't go on those because those are getting covered. Ha! Melora's also make- Oh my god, guys, I do not have any water. I'm getting one when stream is done, guys. I promise. Am I gonna have to tweet about it later? Am I gonna be like, by the way, I did those 5 extra hydrates after stream. You're welcome. Will I get cancelled on Twitter if I don't do those 5? Well, that's free. That's only free. That's only free right now. Will I get cancelled if I don't do those? Scammed. I don't have any water. I'm gonna grab some when I'm done. I promise. I promise. I'm not a scammer. I'm a gamer. I'm just a gamer. I'm just a little builder bean. Melora, you're so lovely. Mwah. Gives a little kiss. Manifesting A pluses for Melora. I don't think that's even how the marking scheme works, but high grade, high grade. Okay. Again, this side is incredibly blank. We'll fix that another time. Not at this rate. I believe in you. I believe you will pass at least one thing. Something to do. Not if it's a big thing, then probably not the best place to put it in Twitch chat, but you can always put it in either like my Discord server or the public Discord server. I'm sure people would be interested to read it, and it will probably be easier to read there if it's if you want to explain it in full. It's just a lot to put into a Twitch chat, I would say. But I believe in thee that believes. I believe in thee that believes in me, that believes in thee, that believes in me, that believes in thee, that believes in me. You know, I really like this house. It's actually, considering I had like one reference image, and most of it came at my little brain bean, I'm very happy with this. It's just this side. But again, I'm thinking some kind of tower here. Wait, let me I go into survival to cut the trees down because they are annoying. What are your pronouns? She, her. I don't really mind if people use they, them as well, but she, her mainly. Oh god, this is messed everything up. Boop, 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 boop. There we go. We'll get this one as well. And then we'll get that one other that's been straggling, just so I have a clearer view of what the hell I'm doing. Nothing to lose. There we go. Okay. Let me get my wool. So I kind of want... I guess if we say that, I don't want that to be the central point, so like central point here. To come down. But it's cool. It's very... Tree Capitate is just always really cool. You know what? We're moving out one more. Because I want it to be a tower that goes up and then in. So it'll be like this. For like... here. And then... Does that go from the middle? Yeah, that's the middle. And then it goes in by one. Come bow, bow. But I like medieval style a lot just because it's fun and it's very fantasy vibes and I want to live in a fantasy. But I feel like something like this, because windmills kind of taper in a little bit. I don't really think I could go in another one because then it's just like a really small 3x3 tower. But there's potential for it. Like, we'll just get rid of this. There's potential it could work. Let me just test it here. Yeah, and then we go up here, like, there. And then on top of this, we'd have a roof, which would go out by, like, 1 block or 2. And then probably on this middle one, we'd have, oh god, I don't know what parts you need to build a windmill. That's like where the windmill would go though. Maybe like one block lower. But yeah, that'd be like where the windmill goes, and then we'd have like the tower bit. And that'd be a part of the actual building, like going inside of it, and you could enter it from inside of here. I think we either will come back here in a later stream to finish off this tower bit, because it will probably take me a bit. And I'll get Litmatica installed and try to figure out how many of each block that we're going to need. Because the biggest problem with this build right now is that the end is closed off, so all of like the roof is completely inaccessible, but I could always replace it with other blocks, like probably not purple. Like I could probably do, no, those are also end. I was gonna say petal blocks, but no, those are also end. There is a lot of different textured concretes and terracottas. So I could always do like actually like purple terracotta. It looks so dirty. Wait, is it like blue? Maybe like blue terracotta. If you get Litmatica, it tells you how many blocks you need. Yeah, my main thing is like I won't know. I won't be able to do the roof, so I just want to figure out what ones I will need till then. But I could always do like blue terracotta, but that would be really annoying to get, even though like it's kind of nice looking. I don't know. I'll either just be like, fuck it, no roof. Leaves roof empty till end opens. That would be the only reason I go to the end, is to get trees. I'm calling it now. But it's a big enough build with enough blocks and materials. I'll probably be sat doing this for ages, just gathering and stuff on the server, and most of it I'll probably do live, which will be very fun. That's definitely interesting. There's a lot of different like species and stuff that people can be transformed into, which is very, very fun and cool and interesting. But I think that is gonna be it for today, because again, my throat hurts. I am going to do those 4 hydrates, and I will tweet about it after I've done them. I don't know how to do those like Twitter audio things, but I might just do one of me drinking to be silly. But stick around for a second whilst I find us somebody to raid, because I want to raid somebody. Oh my goodness. Is that one of my favorite people? Is that one of my favorite people? Is that one of my all-time favorite people? Wait. Oh wait, no, they've been here for an hour. Are they ending? They might be ending, so I'm not going to raid them, but one of my favorite people is there. We're going to raid somebody else, who I'm 100% is not ending, and stick around, because channel points and shit. What are they doing? It's a bedrock realm. I don't know what is happening, but it looks fun. So we're going to go and raid Olive. We're gonna raid Olive, because Olive is lovely. And I will see you guys tomorrow for Mithril SMP lore. Make sure you have joined the Discord if you haven't already, because, you know, it's very, very fun. And I will see you all tomorrow for a lore stream, and it will be really cute, and then we'll do some stuff after, because I want to set up a cool thing for Pride Games. And yeah, I love you guys. Bye-bye.